working in progress. Jeez. Go. Class is on Zoom. If anyone doesn't know. Where are the squishy balls? Oh no, they're in here. I see a yellow bag. Yeah, there's some down there, and then there's some up here, usually. Oh, here we go. What a day, you guys. Oh my gosh. I can hardly believe it. Oh. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Although my younger son is so that's a fault, but only yes, hey guys, please don't too stuffy. They're doing something in half an hour out there, so we just have to shut those. But we've got a little fan action happening. Don't want to read what we keep over. Okay, guys. So yeah, just squish balls and weights. Good. And then that this is on, just an FYI, I talk to everyone, but it's the Zoom is on. The Zoom is on here. That's why I stay in front and do the whole thing so that everyone can see. Just to give you all the groundwork. We're gonna start on our backs with our squishy ball. Weights by your sides. Do you get injuries or anything? Yeah, sure. I'm Lindsay. That's such a bummer. Yeah, so just make sure you have your weights within arm's reach. You don't have to use the weights. You can just move your arms without weights. You can put weights down halfway through, whatever you want to do. I mean, you lots of options, so just listen to your body. Do what feels good. All right, but we'll start with the ball between our thighs. Have your feet maybe a little close to the hip distance apart so you can feel your inner thighs as we start to squeeze a little bit more. And make sure you can touch your heels with your fingertips. Right, so you can just reach down and make sure they're kind of within fingertip range. Then turn your palms to face up, open your arms a little wider than your mat, and then take a couple of nice deep breaths. So we want to just relax in into our neutral spine. Your tailbone is heavy and tipped away from you. Your waistlines are long. Your ribs are tight around your center. The back of your rib cage is nice and heavy. Your shoulder blades are flat against the mat. Collarbones are wide at the front of your body. And then your head is just heavy. You're relaxed through your neck. We'll start by just coming into a little tuck. So belly button towards your spine. You can let your tailbone lift off the mat a little bit. So you'll press your low back down. Take a breath there. And then exhale as you come out of that. So you can come to a little arch there, just as far as it feels good. Kind of past neutral, what neutral is. And then let's do that again. So shortening your waistlines a little bit as you tuck and press that lumbar spine down. And then rock that tail away, creating that space behind your low back, lengthening those waistlines up a little bit. Go two more like that. Exhale. And one more like this. Exhale, tucking right under. And then come back now, this time to neutral. So you'll have that little space behind your low back, but you're not arching. Back of your rib cage is going to stay heavy. From here, we're going to think about our inner thighs a little bit. So let's just squeeze inner thighs tight around that ball. And then go for a slow little release. As you squeeze in, think of the top of those inner thighs connected, little squeeze, hold, and then slow little release. So each time you squeeze, instead of thinking about your knees coming together, really feel your upper thighs in and release. Now start to think about how those inner thighs and your core are connected. So your inner thigh squeeze your abs will deepen a little bit. And then slowly release. So two more like that. Use your breath. Exhale as you squeeze in, thinking about your belly button, just gently pulling towards your spine. And two more like this. Just little. And then one more, go for that nice squeeze, holding when you're squeezing that ball. Now from here, let's roll back. So tailbone lifts that little bit, lumbar spine presses down. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to come right up into a hip lift. So hold at the top. Knees are reaching away from the top of your head. Your waistlines are long, ribs are tight around your center. And then slowly roll down. So articulating through your spine, one vertebrae at a time, all the way until you're down in neutral. Take a breath. And then do that again. So belly button in that little bit, press through your heels, lift those hips. Nice deep breath. And then again, slowly just rolling down, getting some movement through your spine from all the way down. We'll do one more like this. This time we're going to stay up. So pressing through your heels, lifting, holding there. So keeping that connection through your heels so your glutes are active. Your core is connected to keep your body nice and still. Now we're just going to squeeze inner thighs for 6. Squeeze nice and tight. And then little release. Squeeze nice and tight for 5. And release. Squeeze for 4. Try not to just squeeze your glutes together. Squeeze for 3. Inner thighs and control. Last 2. And control, and then go one more. Hold for that little squeeze as you roll all the way down. Come right through to neutral. And then stay. Good job, guys. Okay, now grab your weights in your hands. If you want, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Shoulder blades nice and flat against the mat. So let's start with a little retraction. So your shoulder blades are flat on the mat right now. Let's think of squeezing our shoulder blades together on your mat a little bit. So kind of squeezing in your chest, kind of lifts a little bit. And then come through neutral, do the opposite. Now you're going to reach your arms up to the ceiling, let your shoulder blades lift off the mat. That's protraction. Either one of these should feel particularly good. That's retraction, again, sliding your shoulder blades together. And then think of widening through your shoulder blades as you come to protraction. Go one more like this. Take some movement through your shoulders. Basically the 2 extremes I don't want you to be in. And then come to neutral. So your shoulder blades are flat on the mat. Your collarbones are wide. You can kind of feel the weight of your waist into your upper arms. From there, just open your arms out. So just reach wide and then press back up. So your arms open, but nothing else in your body really changes. So feel your arms reaching, fingertips away from fingertips. Press your arms up your shoulder blades, stay flat against the mat. So when your arms come back to this feeling, you kind of want to lift your shoulder blades, right? Reach up, don't do that. Put two more like this. And rest. Notice what's happening with your ribs and the rest of your body as you move your arms. It really should be. Last one. Press those arms up and then stay there. Now let's go overhead with our arms. So when you reach your arms overhead, your ribs just naturally want to lift. We're not gonna let them lift. So maybe you can't reach your arms quite as far. That's okay. Arms reach overhead, control, and then press back up with that same control. Arms reach, ribs stay tight around your center. And then back up. It's actually lots more if you're really stabilizing through your center. Press those arms back. One more like this. Let's reach back. Press those arms up to the ceiling. Hold there. Now belly button towards your spine. Press through your heels. Lift those hips back up. Stay there. Okay. Arms reach overhead. Slowly roll down. Keeping your arms reaching. The weight shouldn't be resting on the mat. They're just reaching away. And then arms back up. Let's do that again. Belly button to spine, press and lift up. Arms overhead. All the way down. So fingertips reaching away from your knees as you come down. Arms reach up. We'll do one more like that. Belly button to spine, press and lift. Arms overhead. Reach those fingertips away from your knees, all the way down. Back to neutral. And then stay right there. Okay, now pop the ball underneath your right foot. You can keep your arms up if you want. If you want to, you can have your arms down. Whatever feels good for you. We're going to make this a little more challenging. So now we'll press into our left heel as we roll back up. So just like we did before, but you just have your left heel on the ground, your right foot is on the ball. All right, so now stay at the top here. Let's think about our hips. Is our right hip dropping? Maybe it's lifting. Try to keep your hips nice and level. Think of your waistline staying long. And then from here, you're going to drop your hips down. Hips and ribs come down together. And then you're going to press straight back up. So inhale as you come down. And exhale as you press. So we can have arms if you want. Reach those arms wide to the side. And press up. And then reach your arms overhead. And press back up. So again, just doing what feels good in your body. If it's too much with the arms, that's totally fine. The trick is keeping your right foot light on the ball. The lighter you keep that right foot, the more you will feel your left glute. For one more each way with those arms, dropping those hips. One more reach. Press up. Now stay. Your left leg is going to stay exactly as it is. You're going to roll the ball away with your right. And then come right back in. Keep your right foot light as you roll the ball away. Keep it light as you pull in your hips. Stay lifting at arms if you want. Reach those arms overhead. And pull that ball back in. Again, reach arms overhead. Lengthen out. And in. Don't let those hips drop. You've got 3 more here. Reaching away. Hips stay high. That's an isometric hold for your left glute. 2. And in. One more like that. Reach away. Come back in, holding, and then roll all the way down. And stick. Good job, guys. Bring your weights down by your side. Grab your ball, pop it between your inner thighs. Before we come over to the other side, let's just come back to center in our bodies here. Just keep your hands down. Let's roll all the way back up. So pressing your low back down, press through your heels, hips lift nice and high. Take a breath there. Slowly rolling down. Feeling each outside edge of your feet pressing into the mat. Roll up again. Keep each little edge of your foot pressing into the mat as you lift. Roll all the way down, slowing. One more like that. Belly button to spine. Press through those heels. Lift those hips nice and high. Roll all the way down. You're back in neutral. Grab your ball. Pop it under your left foot this time. Feet are still about hip distance apart. Grab those weights if you want. If you were feeling your back or just didn't feel good or it was like too much going on with the weights, keep your arms down. That's totally fine. Arms reach up if you want. Shoulder blades flat against the mat. Think about that neutral shoulder girdle, right? Now let's press into our right foot. So pressing into each edge of that right foot as you lift those hips. Perfect. Okay, so from here, let's just open your arms nice and wide, drop your hips low, and then press back up. Arms overhead, hips drop low, and press back up. So we're really taking control through our movement. We're lowering our hips. They're coming down together. It's not that one comes down before the other. Your ribs come down with them. Your torso is kind of locked in that plank position. And up. Inhale down. And press. Think about your right inner thigh a little bit. That right leg kind of wants to fall out to the side. Don't let it. Think about that right inner thigh squeezing toward your midline. We're going to go one more each way. Left foot stays that little bit light. Here. Press and lift. Now stay. So your right heel is going to stay pressing through the mat. You're going to reach your left leg out. And then you're going to pull back and keep your hips nice and high. Add arms. Arms reach away from your left toes. And then come back in. Shoulder blades stay flat against the mat. So you're not letting your shoulders lift and lower with your arms. In. Keep those hips nice and high for 2. One more. Reach. Back in. Holding there slowly. Roll all the way down. Come neutral. Bring your weights down by your side. Hug your knees into your chest. Have a little roll around there, guys. One way. Other. And then put both feet on top of the ball. So let inner thighs right together. Right, big toes are kind of squeezing. It's up to you how light you want to keep your feet on the ball. The lighter you keep your feet, the harder it's going to be on your core. But if you feel your low back, because you're keeping your feet so light, definitely let your feet be heavier. You don't want to be feeling your back, okay? So have your palms facing up, really relax that upper body. Give your head a little shake back and forth. Feel those collarbones are wide back. Your rib cage is heavy, nice neutral pelvis. And then let your feet be a little bit light. Start. If you don't feel your back, just feel your low abs. You can let your feet be a little bit lighter. Kind of stay at where it feels good. From here, where it feels good, I mean where it feels like your low abs are working. That's what I mean by good. No tension in your lumbar spine. From here, we're going to roll the ball away just a couple of inches, just small, and then pull back in. So the challenge is to keep your feet a little bit light as you move your legs, right? It's easy to press down. Your hip flexors can do this job, no problem. But if we keep our feet light, it really forces those low abs to work, that transverse abdominis. And pull back in. Again, slowly set the ball away. And then just slow and control. So go for a couple more like that. Remembering it doesn't matter how light your feet are, you just want to be able to keep that core connected. So I'm not straightening my legs the whole way up. That's not really what you need to do. It's really, really hard to keep your feet light and go the whole way out. I can get to about there, and then I feel like I'm losing that connection in my transverse, so I pull back in. And I'll find where that spot is for you. And then stay. So let your feet be a little bit heavy. Leave those low abs and breathe. We're going to add upper abs to that as well. So bring your hands behind your head. Elbows can cover off the mat. Tuck your chin just slightly. You should still have space between your chin and your chest. And then curl up to flexion. So when you're up here, just keep your feet heavy to start. Your ribs are nice and tight towards the top of your hip bones. Your pelvis is neutral. You're not tucking this way. You're staying like that. And you're looking towards your thighs. You're really curling forward. Now from here, let your feet be a little bit light. Got it? Now inhale, let's go out a little bit. And then exhale, deepen those abs and belly button to spine as you pull back. So We'll move our legs away, we'll move our upper body down slightly, look to the ceiling slightly, and then curl back up and in. So inhaling back and exhale. If you've done this before and you want to switch the breath, try to exhale out and inhale in. And curl those feet nice and light if you can. If you feel your back, just let them be heavy. 2 more. And in. 1 more. Slow and controlled out. Hold right back in. Holding slowly, like a heavy, lower your upper body all the way down. And stay. Okay, now pop your hands on your hips. So your pelvis is going to stay neutral. Let's let our feet be just a little light again on the ball. From here, you're going to bring your right leg up to tabletop. So just notice when you did that, did your right hip drop or were you able to keep your hips level? We're going to try to keep them level. You're going to bring your right toes back down, just barely touch the ball. Even weight on those hips, left leg's going to come up to tabletop. Hold there. And then slowly let those left toes come back down, barely touching that ball. Right leg up. And then slow and control back down. So keep alternating, trying to minimize any sort of shift in your hips. Keep those waistlines really nice and long. Think about those wide sitting bones underneath you. No tension through your shoulders or neck. Slow down. We're going to go 1 more each way. Let's go right up. Breath. Forward and left. Take a breath. Slowly lower back down. Let your feet be heavy. Take a breath, totally relax. Okay, so we're going to add upper body to that and a little more movement. Now, hands behind your head, tuck your chin, curl up. So staying there. Keep your feet a little bit light, but remember, if you feel your back at all, just let your feet be heavier. That's totally fine, right? So from here, right leg up, keeping your weight, keep it on your hips. Stay there. Now from here, send your left leg up. So roll all the way with your left. Keep your foot a little light, and then pull back in. Slow as you roll out. You can add upper body, you can lower it down, and then slow curl and pull back in. So really thinking about your waistlines, both being even, your hips are evenly weighted on the mat, roll away, and then in. So let's try to exhale back. That's where we want to stay working. Exhale all the way out. You're working the whole way. This is the hardest point right here. Inhale back in. Exhale. And inhale. 2 more here. Slowly lengthen back. Slowly pull right in. 1 more. All the way out. Keep that leg that little bit light. Pull in. Lower your right. Lower your upper body. Let your feet be heavy. Take a breath. Woo, good job, you guys. Okay, so we'll do the same on the other side. We'll give your direct abs a little bit of a break. Neutral. Upper body's nice and quiet. Hands behind your head. Tuck your chin. Curl on up. Staying when you're up there. Pop your left knee up to tabletop. Your right foot is that little bit light on top of the ball. Hips are nice and even. Waistlines are long. So start with your left. You're going to roll. Or sorry, your right leg. And then pull back in. Right leg reaches away, lengthen out, and then pull right back in. So you can add that upper body if you want, reaching the top of your head away from those right toes, and curl right in. Remember, the exhale out makes it a little more challenging. This is the hardest point, right? That shouldn't be a break. Out with control. And for the last 2, lengthening back, even weight on those hips, right in. Last 1. All the way, lower your left, lower your upper body all the way down. Awesome, guys. Let's come on to our sides. We're going to keep our squishable hand actually. It's going to go between your ankles. Let's lie on our left side. Left side, toes reaching away from the top of your head. Waistlines are long, your left ribs are a little bit lifted off the mat. All right, so let's think about our knees, both pointing the same way that you're looking. So knees are pointing out the windows there. Your left knee kind of wants to point down, provides a lot of stability if you let your leg turn out that way. So try to keep it nice and parallel. So knees are both pointing forward. Waistlines are long, your left ribs are a little bit lifted off the mat. Let's start with our right hand in front of us. We're going to try to work our way up to bringing our hand onto our hip. No problem if that doesn't work for you today. And then start the movement thinking about your core. So ribs are tight around your center. Belly button pulls into your spine. Left inner thigh is the primary mover here. So squeeze that left leg up. Your right leg comes with it. The ball comes with it as well. Stay when you're there. And then just slow and control lower back down to a hug. So you're lifting up, you're having a little pause, and then you're lowering back down. So notice as you're moving, if you put more weight into your right hand, try not to do that. Try just to have one or two fingers down on the mat. If you feel steady with one or two fingers down, you can bring your hand onto your hip. Try that. No big deal if you can't. And control. Very good. Abs and left inner thigh working as you lift. They're still working as you breathe. Slowly control down. Over two, doesn't matter the slightest bit how high you lift your legs. You're thinking stability through your core as those legs move. And down. Now let's go on. We're going to lift up and stay. Now keep your bottom leg totally still. Squeeze your top inner thigh down. So right inner thigh squeezes into your left. Your left one is working like a wall. You squeeze down for 4. Squeeze down for 3. Squeeze down for 2. Squeeze down for 1. Hold that squeeze. Keep your left leg where it is again. Squeeze down an inch further. Left inner thigh stays still. Right squeezes down. Go 6. Go 5. So tons of left inner thigh, tons of right obliques. Do we feel those working together? 3. Last 2. Squeeze a little tighter. Last 1. Squeeze nice and tight. Keep your squeeze. Lower your legs to a hover. Keep inner thigh squeezing. Lower to a hover. Go for 6, slow, and up. 5 more, slow. How are your left ribs doing? Are they pressing down? You feel that left inner thigh, right oblique line all working. 2. Last 1, squeeze on up, take a breath, and then slowly lower all the way down and stay. Good job, guys. Pop that ball up to the side. All right. And then have your heels up underneath your knees. Your legs are at a 9. Your legs are in a 90-degree angle here. Knees in line with your hips, and then heels under those knees. Keep your waistlines nice and long. Your left ribs are a little lifted off the mat, and then lift your bring your bring your feet underneath your knees instead of underneath your bum. You got it. 90-degree angles. Okay, so now we're gonna lift our foot and our knee together. So you're going to lift to hip height, stay when you're at hip height, and then circle your leg around. So think of circling your thigh bone in your hip socket, just small little circles. You're keeping your pelvis nice and still. Your pelvis is neutral right now, right? Don't let anything change through your body as your leg circles for 2. Let it circle for 1 and then stay. Now circle the other way. So just smooth little circles. Again, feeling that thigh bone circling around. Nothing else really changes. 4, 3, 2, go 1 more, and then stay. From there, you're going to keep going through your heel. So straighten your leg all the way out underneath. You press through your heel, and then squeeze it back slightly. So you get that little crease under your glute there where your glute hamstring meet. Bend it in again. So slowly bend it in. Take a breath, kick all the way out, reach through that heel, squeeze back. But when you squeeze back, it's easy to arch your back, right? So you need a little bit of extra core. press through your right heel. Go for that extra squeeze. Again, 3 more like this. Keep that right leg at hip height the whole time. It wants to drop, right? Gravity's pulling it down. You're working against that. In. Press and reach. Last 2 like this. Press and reach. And then 1 more slow and controlled. Press all the way up through that heel. Reach long and then stay with that leg underneath you. Reach through your toes now. So your leg is at about hip height. Let's bring our toes down to the front edge of the mat and then bring your toes down to the back edge of the mat. So you're drawing a little rainbow with your toes. Doesn't matter how tall your rainbow is. Think of making a nice wide rainbow. Forward, barely touch, and back. Don't even let weight drop into your leg. But really consciously lift from your outer glute and outer thigh. You could just kind of swing your leg around. Don't do that. You're lifting, you're lowering. You're lifting, you're lowering. Your core is working the whole time, keeping your torso nice and still. 2 more. Back. 1 more. And then straight underneath you. Stay there. Your leg is at hip height. You're almost done. You're going to do U's. So instead of a rainbow, you're going to make a U, the exact opposite shape, a nice wide U. Go up at the front edge of your mat and then up at the back. Up at the front edge and up at the back. And as you're doing this, your core is again keeping your body still. Your toes are constantly reaching away from the top of your head. You feel that connection. Toes reaching away. Go for 4. Nice and controlled. And up. Go for 3. Last 2. Back. Last 1. Back. And then bend that leg underneath you. Come onto your back. Let's give our right glute a little bit of a stretch out. So right foot in front of your left knee. Hug behind that left knee. Take a couple breaths there. Try to stay neutral even as you're stretching. So keep your right foot in front of your knee, but try to keep that tailbone tipping away. Your ribs are still hugging around your center. You're nice and neutral. One more nice big breath there. And then bring the soles of your feet together, just let your legs open out into a little butterfly. Let's do the same on the other side. So grab your ball. Start with the ball between your ankles. No, yes, we did. Inner thighs. You did it. You did it. Like, look. I thought I was really going crazy. Barbara always knows exactly what we do. She's my assistant in case I forget. Reach your toes straight out. So thinking length, toes reaching away from the top of your head. Keep your waistline long, keep your right ribs that little bit lifted. And then from here, lift both legs up. So you're just gonna go that little bit of a lift and then stay right there. So your top leg stays exactly where it is. You're gonna squeeze your bottom one up. So that little squeeze and little release. Wait a sec, sorry. Your bottom leg is staying, so your top one is squeezing down. Top one squeezes down. Yes. So its right inner thigh is working like a wall, while your left one squeezes down. Just that little squeeze and release. Little squeeze and release. So each time you squeeze that ball, feel how your right inner thigh has to work a little bit harder to keep that leg still, right? Good. Go 3 more like that, just small. Go for 2. Just small. Last one, now squeeze your left down and stay. Right is still exactly where it is. It's a wall, squeeze your left down a little bit further. little release. Squeeze a little further and little release. Feeling how those left obliques are working with that right inner thigh. If you want, have a lighter touch with your left hand. You can bring your left hand to your left hip if that works. Doesn't matter at all. Last two. Last one, hold that little bit of a squeeze. Now lower your legs down to a little hover and then squeeze them back up. So down, begin that hover, deepen those abs, squeeze up, constant squeeze with those inner thighs and up, control, over 5, squeeze, and 4, squeeze. So guys, 3, just small. Last one, let's squeeze on up. Hold when you're there, take a breath, and then slowly lower all the way down. Grab the ball, pop it off to the side. Now bring your legs to the 90-degree angle. So your heels under your knees, knees in line with your hips. And you're neutral, right? It would be easy to kind of tuck under here. Keep those waistlines long, keep your right ribs that little bit lifted, and then lift your left leg up so you're at about hip height. Bend that, circle your leg around. So as you're circling your thigh bone, your left thigh bone, your body is staying still. So just nice, smooth little circles. Thinking about how your core is stabilizing you as your leg moves around. Ribs stay nice and tight around your center. Right ribs stay a little bit lifted for 3. Control for 2. Last one, stay, and then go the other way. So again, just that nice controlled movement as you're circling. Nothing else really changes in your body. Think about how your femur just kind of makes that circle in your hip socket. 3, go for 2, 1 more, and then press all the way out for your left heel. So reach really nice and long. Squeeze behind you that little bit so you get that little crease where you're moving your hamstring knee, and then bend right back in. So trying to keep your leg at about hip height as you bend in and as you press out. Reach away, squeeze back that little bit, and then bend and pull back. Let's do that again. Pressing through your heel over that extra small, and then pull back. Can you feel how your core has to work a little bit harder as you squeeze back? Your body naturally kind of wants to arch as you kick that leg behind you, so you have to deepen your abs to maintain that neutral. But one more like that, slowly pulling in that 90-degree angle. We're going to kick all the way out and then come straight underneath. You reach through your toes, so you're really reaching toes from the top of your head. From here, do rainbows. So toes down to the front edge of your mat, and then toes down to the back edge of your mat. Up and down, nice and controlled. Ribs are still hugging around your center. Lift and down and up and down. So really staying as steady as you can through your hips. It doesn't matter how big the rainbow is, but you want to try and focus on that stability through your core as your leg makes that shape. Go 3 more like that. Up and down and up and down. Last 2. Down, and then 1 more. Down, and then hold in the center there, right underneath. You know, get the opposite shape. So a little wide view, up the front edge of your mat. Up. So 4, up. 3 more. Last 2, and back, and then 1 more. Up, smooth back, and then bend that leg right underneath you. Okay, perfect. All right, come on to your back. Let's give your left glute a little stretch. So lying flat, left foot in front of your right knee. Hug behind that right knee now. Take a nice couple of breaths. Waistline stay long, remember, try to stay neutral. Left knee turns up to the side that little bit. bring the soles of your feet together again, just releasing those inner thighs. There. Right, guys. And then straighten our legs out underneath us. Have your weights close by. We're going to use them in a sec. We're going to reach our arms up to the ceiling. Legs can be right together, so big toes kind of touching, inner thighs squeezing towards one another. Arms are going to reach overhead, and remember your shoulder blades are not going to, or your shoulders are not going to lift up towards your ears, right? Your arms move, your ribs stay tighter under center, shoulders stay relaxed. We're going to come up into a roll up. So when we come into a roll up, start by tucking your chin, reach those arms up towards the ceiling, and then keep rolling all the way. So you're going to reach out to your toes. Take a breath, stack up nice and tall, and then roll back. So starting to move with your hips, roll those hips back, press your lowest vertebrae down, and keep rolling sequentially through your spine all the way until the back of your head touches. Take a breath, and then let's do that again. One more like this, tucking your chin, rolling forward. You can reach out to your toes, stack up tall, and then melt back. Move shoulders back, trying to stay here. The shoulders back so your neck stays long all the way. And back. Maybe keep going with that exact same movement, or you can add a leg to that. So we're gonna, if you want to tuck your chin as your mid back, let's lift a leg. So you'll come into a tabletop position. You're gonna stay in a little scoop as you roll down. Reach those arms up towards the ceiling. You can reach your leg. Lower it all the way down as your mid back touches. Reach that arm over, those arms overhead. Same thing, left leg. So tucking in that little bit, curl up, left leg pulls in, right leg is long. Hold it in there, take a breath, and then slowly melt back down. Even weight to both sides of your spine, and all the way back. Do that again. Do the same thing, right. Tucking right leg up. Keep that left hip nice and heavy. Keep that little scoop, guys. Roll back, slow and controlled. Or left, tuck, right hip stays heavy as you lift. All the way down, slow and controlled. You can keep alternating, but two more, keep alternating, or you can try to lift both legs if you want. Coming up, or you can just have keep your toes down, you can come up to a full teaser if you want, or just bend legs. Roll down, reaching your legs away as you lower all the way. Take a breath. One more. Wherever it feels good. And then lower your legs down. Come up to seated. And grab your squishy ball. So sit up tall with the ball right behind you. So we'll do that first part of that roll down, that little scoop in towards the ball. We're going to use the ball to start and we're going to get rid of it. We're going to add some weights if you want. So your arms can reach forward, shoulders away from your ears. Sitting nice and tall. We're going to roll back. So think of pressing your lowest vertebrae, that tailbone down towards the ball. And then stay where you're there. Good. So you could just kind of relax on the ball, right? You want to do that. Stay a little bit light. So your core really is holding you there. And then from here, open just one arm out to this side, only as far as you don't have to shift away from it, right? And then bring that arm back through center. If it feels like too much with the weights, that's only fine. Just drop them and back through center. So thinking stability as you open your arm and back in. And then let's go out and back in. And let's add a little rotation to that. So right arm opens out. Reach behind you, reach your left arm forward as you twist all the way back to the center. Stay. Left, open it out, reach it back. Right arm reaches away from your left. And then come all the way back to the center. Good. Right arm opens. Reach. And left. All the way, very good, you guys. And then come back up to seated, nice and tall. Okay. Pop those weights down. Grab your wall. Pop them through your inner thighs. Arms reach forward. Keep those inner thighs squeezing that little bit. Same little scoop. So think of having the ball there right arm wide to this side. Reach behind you again and stay. So right fingertips reach back, left fingertips reach forward. Can you reach a little bit further? Keeping your weight in your hips a little bit further. A little bit further. And then bring that arm all the way back through center. Stay, keep the ball squeezed. Same thing left. Open it out, reach. Reach a little bit further. Little further. Little further. All the way back through center. And then sit yourself up nice and tall. Now bring your hands behind your phone. Exhale. Roll it, roll it. Stay right there. Keep that ball squeezed. Rotate to the right. Hold. Back through center. Let's go to the left. And back to the right. Exhale. Even weight on those hips. One more left. Squeezing that ball gently. Come back through center. Get yourself all the way up. Reach those arms forward. Now we're going to roll back, keeping our legs like this, rolling all the way. Slow and all the way. Keep those legs bent. Reach those arms overhead. Take a breath. And then from there, pop that ball up to the side. You're going to come onto your tummies. So right onto your tummies with your legs straight out. You don't need weight. You don't need ball. You're going to lie on down with your hands as wide as the mat. We're like right off the mat. A little bit more. And then same with your legs. Legs can be as wide as the mat. Nose just hovers off the mat a little bit. We're going to do a little extension here. So when we're at the height of our extension, you shouldn't be looking towards the front of the room. You should still be looking down. Just keep that in mind. So let's start the movement with our ribs. Ribs tighten up around your center. Shoulders are down and away from your ears. Now connect to your core. Think about your belly button lifting away from the mat. And then just slowly, leading with the top of your head and your nose, you're going to begin extending up through your upper back. So as you're extending up, you're reaching the top of your head, your nose, your collarbones even forward towards the top edge of your mat. Hold when you're there. And then slowly melt down. So softening your sternum down all the way. So your nose just hovers off the mat. Take a breath there. Start the same way. So connect to your core, feel your wrists tighten up around your center, your shoulder blades slide down your back. Lead with that nose reaching the top of your head way out. Collarbones reach out towards the edge of your mat. Nice deep breath here. If you feel your lumbar spine, if you feel your back at all, don't come up quite so high. And slowly. I'm going to do two more like that. Core connects, ribs tighten up, shoulder blades down. Breathing with your nose, gently reaching the top of your head. Collarbones out. Slow. And control. Keep reaching the top of your head. Think of lengthening your spine even as you lower down. Now this next one will stay up. So core connects, ribs tight around your center, shoulder blades down, lengthen as you lift, and just stay right there. Now from here, keep your hands just lightly pressing into the mat. You're going to lift your right thigh. So your right thigh and the rest of your leg lift maybe just an inch. And then lower that right thigh down. Left thigh, it's just an inch. And then lower it back down. Now notice if your hip shift as you go back to right. Let it. And then left thigh. Really think about your thighs. Thigh lifts up as if there's a string. Someone's lifting that string that's attached to your right thigh. And lower back down. Go one more left. Back down, and then lower your arm up all the way down. And back to a little shell stretch. Roll on up when you're there. We'll come to a 4-point heel. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. All right, find your neutral. We'll go through to a little calf stretch. So starting neutral, feel that you're nice and even from right to left in your body, and then drop that tail, so grounding. Heavy, take a nice breath, and then again, you'll come back through your starting position. Little extension through your spine. Back, so drop that tail, keep those abs. Nice deep breath. Neutral again. What you want like that. Sweeping, rounding, really lift your ribs. One more like this. End up being neutral this time. So your eyes are looking down, your neck is nice and long. Feet weight in your hands, feet weight in your knees. Now without shifting your weight completely, let's kick our right leg out on the mat. So keep your toes down to start. You can feel how your weight does want to shift to the left. Try to keep your left inner thigh kind of squeezing toward your midline so you don't just shift across there. And then from there, lift your right leg up. So right toes reach away from the top of your head. From there, all I want you to do is just bend that right leg in. And then you're going to reach it straight back out. Bend in. Your waistline's long. And kick back out. So two more, just the bend. And the reach. One more in and reach. Now stay. You reach your left fingertips out in front of you. Keep your right leg straight, left arm straight, just tap. And so spine is long, fingertips reach from close for 6. Go for 5. And lift. 4 more. Last 2. Last 1. Up. Bring that arm in. Leg in. And then right back. Give those wrists a little twist while you're down there. And then let's do the same thing on the other side. So hands back under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Really feel nice and grounded. We're going to be neutral. We're going to just kick our left leg out. Before you lift it up, just find your right inner thigh, squeeze it toward your midline just so you don't drop to the right. Lift that leg. Stay there. Now from here, just let's bend and extend for 4. So bend in. Keeping your waistline long, not letting your weight shift to the right. It's really easy to let it shift to the right. In. Next, stays long. Right, so reach. Now stay there. You extend your right arm in front of you. Left one has a tiny bend in it. Let's just tap our fingers and toes down. And then lengthen as you lift. Inhale down, feel how your core connects as you lift. Control. Control. Exhale right for 4. That's then as you lift. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Squeeze it up. Arm in, leg in, and depth it back for a shut stretch. Okay, guys. Back up, so hands back under your shoulders, knees back under your heads. We're going to step our right foot back. plank. The top of your head is reaching from your heels. Really feel that your hands, each one of your fingers and those palms are pressing through the mat. You're going to flex your feet and press your heels back as far. And then you're going to shift in your shoulders, come up to your tippy toes as you bring your full body forward a couple of inches. You're just pressing straight back through your heels. And then sliding forward. You're not really lifting or lowering. You're just moving in space. Just straight back. Flexing those ankles. And forward. One more with that. Press back. Slide forward. Tuck your chin, scoop your abs, press all the way back to a downward dog. Walk our feet out over the right. Left. Nice and low. Feel right up to the ceiling. Nice and high. We're going to come back into that place. You're going to come all the way back down. Drop your knees. Keep your toes curled under. You're going to bring your legs right together. So inner thighs are together, ankles are together, and then toes curled under. So from here, all I want you to do is lift your knees 1 little inch. 1 inch without moving your body forward. And then lower your knees back. So do that again. Just squeeze your inner thighs together. Press through those palms. Each one of your fingers press into the mat. And nice neutral grip. Stay tight around your center. Use that breath. So one more like that. Up there. Okay, so now squeeze your inner thighs together. And you lower just maybe halfway. Inhale down. Stay low, stay wide. Lift. Inhale down. Touch. One more. And then press those heels down with that tail right to the ceiling, back to a downward dog. Step your feet out a little bit. Press those heels down again. Lift nice and high, lift your right leg up to the ceiling, and then step your right foot in between your right and your left hand. Just step forward. Drop your left knee down. All right, so just hang there. You'll feel your left hip flexor having a little bit of a stretch out. A couple of breaths there. And then let's step our left hand down beside your right foot there and reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Just hang for that little twist. Feel your left palm pressing down as your right fingertips reach up. Nice dynamic stretch. You're really opening the right side of your ribs up. And then step that right hand down. Turn your right leg out and then sit back for a little there. So just come down as far as that feels good. And walk those hands back in when you're ready. Curl those left toes under. Step your right foot back. Press back to that downward dog again. Walk those heels up. And lift both heels nice and high. Lift your left leg up to the ceiling and pull it in between your hands. Drop your right knee, uncurl those toes. Just hang there for your right hip flexor. Step your right hand down, reach your left up to the ceiling. Fist. Feel your left fingertips reach up as your right palm presses down, ribs twisting up towards the ceiling. And then bring your left hand down. Turn your left leg out. And then lie all the way down. Walk those hands in again, so hands under your shoulders. Curl your toes under. Your left foot back, so back in that plank again. Tuck your chin, scoop those abs, press all the way back to that downward dog. We're just gonna roll to our spine a couple of times. So press your heels low when you're in that downward dog, and then lift them nice and high. Lift your tail right to the ceiling. So your abs scooping up. Shift your weight slowly to those hands. And then rock your spine one vertebrae at a time until you come back into that plank. Hold when you're there. And then do the opposite as you come back. So now you're going to tuck your chin in first. Round that upper spine, that mid spine, that lower part spine all the way. And press back. Breath. Do that again. So heel drop. Then lift them up. Start scooping through your low abs. All the way back into that plank. Your head comes out last. And then one more. Tuck that chin. Round through your upper back, back to the low back, all the way. Press down nice and low and then walk your hands into those feet. One vertebrae at a time. One hand at a time. Roll all the way up. Your shoulders will roll out. Holy, nice work. Feel good? Awesome. Stay on. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy your long weekends. I don't know. Have a good long weekend, guys. Wherever you are.